Okay, moving on. Best adapted screenplay. We have Coda. We have Dune. We have The Power of the Dog. We have Drive My Car and The Lost Daughter. What are your picks for adapted screenplay, Mike?
I think the winner is going to be between Coda and The Power of the Dog. I think I'm going to lean more towards Power of the Dog because really most people commented on the script, and the script was exceptional. Whereas Coda, I mean, I think it's a good movie, emotional, but I don't know that script is where it's going to come through here. As far as my choice, I would also be Power of the Dog. And again, Maggie Gyllenhaal was, there's a lot of, there was some upset about her not being nominated for director, so I'm sure she has some votes coming in there. Drive My Car, fabulous reviews. And Coda, if they're going to end up giving that picture, I mean, they would certainly like to see that get screenplay along with that, sort of like back in the spotlight, that picture and screenplay. But of course, Coda is also probably going to get supporting actor, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, but again, I think Power of the Dog will be my choice, and also the Academy's.
Okay, I will. I'm going to go Coda here.
Okay.
I don't think. Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I think we're going to disagree on our picks, so I'm going to go Coda here, and my pick would be Power of the Dog. And again, we'll get into that reasoning why, but I think this will be the bone thrown to Coda in this category. Anything else here? I know you mentioned The Lost Daughter, Maggie Gyllenhaal. I did watch that on Netflix and was surprised to see she wrote and directed it. So, okay. Next writing category is original screenplay. We have Belfast. We have King Richard, The Worst Person in the World, Don't Look Up, and Licorice Pizza. Mike, what about original screenplay?
Okay, Kenneth Branagh, I think, nominated in more categories than any other person. And again, Belfast, very close to his heart about his childhood. Don't Look Up, very controversial. People hated it and people loved it. King Richard, I didn't quite see that as, a terrific screenplay, but, there it is. And Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, you have, whether it's Hard Eight and Boogie Nights and Magnolia and There Will Be Blood. I mean, and Licorice Pizza seems like such a tiny little thing from him. I mean, goes over 2 hours and there's not a whole lot of plot there. I mean, it's well cast and, I didn't dislike it. But again, I don't think, if we're going to honor Paul Thomas Anderson, not for that. And then Worst Person in the World is a wonderful screenplay. A little slow to get started, in my opinion, but once it gets going, and but again, it's a foreign film, so I think I think the winner here. I think I want to go with Belfast. I mean, they would give it something here with a close second here, Licorice Pizza, because they owe Paul Thomas Anderson, and then. My choice, I think I would go with Belfast also. I mean, Worst Person in the World is excellent, but I think I want Belfast in both cases.
Okay, I will agree as far as the winner will be Belfast. I think they'll throw this to Kenneth Branagh. I think this is where I would recognize Don't Look Up. Though it had some controversy. I know a lot of people did not like the film. I think Don't Look Up was good. I mean, I thought it was, you can say things about the casting, but I thought the story behind it was compelling and original, and that this is original screenplay.
Well, I don't know. I liked it. I didn't hate it, but again, I thought it was a little drawn with sort of like a heavy crayon at times. But again, he also won for The Big Short, so I mean, But like I said, I didn't hate it, but a lot of people did.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get into the directing category. Best Achievement in Directing. We have Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. We have Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Kenneth Branagh, Belfast. And Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car. I hope I did not butcher that. Mike, who's your pick for director here?
Well, I would pick Jane Campion, and I think that's who they're going to pick. I know there was a little brouhaha about her saying it was supposedly insulting the Williams sisters at the Independent Spirits, which I watched it. I mean, you know, I was a little like, oh, I was taken a little aback, but I mean, I don't think that, you know, affects her directing performance. She apologized for it, but again, I think pretty sure that's how the Academy and I would go with her.
I'm going to agree with you right down the line there, Mike. I'd pick her as the winner, and my pick, without the controversy, I still think it will probably get done. So, okay, we're going to go into the acting categories, and that will be actress in a supporting role. We have Ariana DeBose in West Side Story, Jessie Buckley, The Lost Daughter, Kirsten Dunst, The Power of the Dog, Anjanu Ellis, King Richard, I apologize for the pronunciation, and Judi Dench for Belfast. Mike, what's your picks here for actress in a supporting role?
5 wonderful performances. I wouldn't have a problem with any of them winning, but I think it's going to be Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. She's won more or less everything, and it will be nice for them to recognize West Side Story, which again, I think I liked it better than you did, but I thought it was terrific, and I think she's my choice, and I think she's going to win.
As far as my choice, I'm going to say yes to West Side Story, Ariana DeBose. I think, yeah, like you said, she's won everything, and the other award shows, I think, yeah, I could go as my pick here, Kirsten Dunst, just to give a little. I mean, that was a tough role, but
yeah,
Kirsten Dunst would be my pick. But yeah, I think this is the recognition for West Side Story in this category. So, anything else about these actresses? Anything standing out?
No.
Okay. Let's go to supporting role for actor. We have Ciarán Hinds in Belfast, Jesse Plemons, The Power of the Dog, Troy Kotsur, Coda, J.K. Simmons being The Ricardos, and Cody Smith-McPhee for The Power of the Dog. Mike, we got 2 Power of the Dogs here. Which one is it going to be?
Well, I think your winner here is Troy Kotsur. I mean, he's the deaf actor, and again, he's got the emotional heft there, and again, you know, he's very good. I mean, it's a small part, but he's very good, so I think he's going to win. But again, I think all 5 performances were terrific. But, if I was voting, I'd go with Cody Smith-McPhee. I mean, that was a challenging part for you to pull off. I mean, it was at some points very hard to watch, but I thought he was exceptional. And, you know, J.K. Simmons doesn't much look like Fred Mertz or William Frawley, but again, he did a wonderful job. Jesse Plemons, a wonderful actor. Again, sort of a subdued part, but excellent. Ciarán Hinds, terrific as, you know, the companion to Judi Dench in Belfast. I mean, they're all good, but I think Mr. Kotsur's going to win, but I would have gone with Cody Smith-McPhee.
Oh, this is tough for me. I was predicting Cody Smith-McPhee winning here. I know that Coda was getting this and a lot of other rewards. I'm just going to go out and say it might be Cody Smith-McPhee here. And with my pick, maybe going to the same. I think that was this movie's not for everybody. We'll talk about it later, but I thought that role, like you said, was pretty difficult, and there's a turn at the end for the character that, I just thought it was an interesting role. But, you know, I can also see this going to Coda for sure. So, all right, we got 3 left, Mike, the big ones. We got Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role. Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Nicole Kidman, being The Ricardos. Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers. Kristen Stewart, Spencer. Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter. Who's your picks for actress?
Well, I think the momentum at this, which she didn't have it early on, but, you know, winning the SAG award, and, you know, I think the momentum has moved over to Jessica Chastain, who was a wonderful actress, and, you know, I wasn't crazy about the movie, but I mean, she did a beautiful job in the Eyes of Tammy Faye, so I think she's going to win. And I think there's, 4 terrific performances here. The one I'm leaving out there is Kristen Stewart. I mean, it wasn't all her fault. I mean, but I did not believe her as Diana. And again, I didn't think it was well written, well directed. I did not care for Spencer. I certainly would have preferred to see Lady Gaga in that slot, but. Again, Nicole Kidman, a difficult part. I mean, people were, how could she be Lucille Ball? And she did a beautiful job. Penelope Cruz, certainly a more subdued part than the others, but again, she was amazing. Olivia Colman, a difficult part. I mean, in a difficult movie, but again, Olivia Colman, almost always good. But I think, like I said, I think the winner will be Jessica Chastain. And just because it's such a, I don't know, a challenging role but again, not fancy, not overwhelming in any way. Penelope Cruz was just in my choice. Her and Pedro Almodovar together, I mean, an unbeatable pair.
Mm-hmm. I am going to go with Jessica Chastain for both my picks. Again, I'm not crazy about the movie. I don't know if it was a pro-religion or anti-religion movie. I mean, I think it's anti-religion, but there's some things in there where I'm like, okay. But, I think difficult role, the singing, the makeup here just helps so much in the hair, styling, Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, definitely the movie had a lot of tone issues as far as, how you were expected to respond to it. I mean, I had issues with that too.
Yes, I mean, the movie has issues, but the performance, I don't think, and again, I think you're right, the momentum's going her way as far as before the show, so I think it's that. The other nominees, I mean, I like Spencer a little bit more than you did. I definitely, you could see that they keep her speaking to a minimum, but I guess I'd say it's more, that movie is more about a mood, is more about emotion than actually trying to kind of portray the real events. But no, I think you covered everyone else. Nicole Kidman I liked as Lucille Ball. Olivia Colman, again, I don't know, that's a tough watch on that movie. I thought she did great, and I've yet to see Parallel Mothers, so I will not comment on that one. But no, anything else, Mike, before we move on from actress? All right. Best performance by an actor in a leading role: Andrew Garfield, Tick, Tick, Boom; Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth; Will Smith, King Richard; Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog; Javier Bardem, Being the Ricardos. What do you got here, Mike?
Well, I think they're 5 very good performances, and I think Will Smith is going to walk away. I mean, once again, someone who's owed and paid his dues in the business, and they're going to give it to him. But I don't think it's of those 5, I would say that would be my least choice. It's not a bad performance, but again, nothing exceptional in my opinion. I would go, if I'm voting, I'm going with Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, he had a very difficult part that he had to pull off, and you just don't think of him in that role, but he pulls it off. And again, Javier Bardem, again, more or less, you make you believe he's Desi Arnaz. And Andrew Garfield, who knew he could sing, and he does a wonderful job. I'm not a big fan of Rent, but I thought he did a great job. And Denzel Washington, don't think of him as a Shakespearean actor, but he did a terrific job in The Tragedy of Macbeth. So Will Smith will win, but I would have probably gone with Benedict Cumberbatch.
I am 100% in agreement. I'm going to say Will Smith is your winner tonight, and my pick is going to Benedict Cumberbatch. That role in The Power of the Dog, some very difficult scenes. One in particular where it just stands out to me. I still think about it. Is he's alone in the barn with a horse, and that's it. And that scene alone is just very powerful. I've seen all the others. I did not care for Tick, Tick, Boom. I don't know. I'm sorry. Denzel Washington and Macbeth, liked Macbeth very much. And Javier Bardem, like you said, you begin to believe him and see him as Ricky. So no, I say Will Smith and then Benedict Cumberbatch is my pick. So final category.
Here comes the big one.
Big one is here. We have Best Picture of the Year. We have Belfast, Don't Look Up, Dune, Licorice Pizza, The Power of the Dog, Coda, Drive My Car, King Richard, Nightmare Alley, and West Side Story. Who is your winner and who is your pick?
Well, definitely the momentum's with Coda. They're going to go with a movie that people will respond to. When I responded to it, I enjoyed it. I liked it. But I think it's certainly a good movie, not a great movie again. And it's, a little manipulative, but still, I liked it. And again, the cast is all good. And, like I said, it's a good movie. But, we hate to overpraise a good movie. And, Belfast I thought was terrific. Don't Look Up I had issues with, but I liked it. I mean, its heart was in the right place. Drive My Car, 3 hours and a challenging watch. Again, well done and all, but I think one of those overpraised, foreign movies. Dune, well done, too long, but again, it's certainly technically expert. King Richard, I think, doesn't belong in there. I mean, you can like the movie, but certainly overpraised. Licorice Pizza would have been very good as almost like a short feature, but I mean, there's not enough story there for over 2 hours. Nightmare Alley. Beautiful production, well cast. I mean, the beautiful Kate Blanchett doing a terrific job, as did Bradley Cooper. And, but again, was never going to be the big audience movie, and it certainly wasn't. West Side Story, which I thought was terrific. I thought it was, whatever mistakes the first one made, which is, great classic, they corrected that. And again, I thought West Side Story was amazing. And then you have The Power of the Dog, which again, is not an easy watch, but I think it's a terrific movie. So, like I said, I think Coda's going to win, but I think I would have gone with The Power of the Dog.
So here's where we're going to differ. I think we talked about this earlier. My pick for winner is The Power of the Dog. I think this movie is going to probably be remembered the most after this year, with maybe a nod to Nightmare Alley as far as holding up throughout time. Power of the Dog is a difficult movie. It is not for everybody. But for those who know Jane Champion and who like Benedict Cumberbatch as an actor, I think definitely you have to see this movie. Nightmare Alley as well, I think, like I said, will hold up. My predictions were changing over time on this. I thought West Side Story might win. I thought Coda, like you, might win. But now I think momentum is moving Power of the Dog, and I've yet to see Licorice Pizza and Belfast. I'm, reserving judgment on those. Don't Look Up, I liked. I know a lot of people didn't. We mentioned that earlier. Drive My Car, 3 hours. I found it difficult. I don't think many people could get through that movie.
It's not Parasite, that's for sure.
No. I mean, beautifully made. It was very well done. I don't know. I don't know.
We certainly didn't respond to it like most of the critics did.
No.
So.
And as far as Best Picture, I don't know. I think you could find something else. Same thing with King Richard. I think you could find something else to put in here, or,
As we talked about Spider-Man, there was a space there for Spider-Man.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that would get people a little bit more interested in the Oscars. I mean, Drive My Car, no one's going to see that. Dune, again, good movie. Best Picture, I like Denis Villeneuve. Great director. Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson, great director. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. West Side Story, like I said, I thought momentum was moving that way on that. But I think now Power of the Dog is going to be my pick for both. So, all right, Mike, we're wrapping
Well,
this
I have
up.
one more thing to add. I did a little research on how the picture is determined. And I think it'd be very hard for them to make a more complicated way to pick the best picture. It's not like people vote for one. It's you vote an ordered system out of the 10, and then there's points, and if people don't vote for in order for all 10, then it hurts your choice. And I mean, it is so complicated, which again, they said that's how Green Book, which is a movie I like, which a lot of people have turned on, that you know, a movie that people like a lot can suddenly add up with enough points that it will become the best picture, even when it didn't get that many number one choices. So, I mean, that's the issue there, is you're going to have people that were divided on Power of the Dog, that, you know, there might be a lot of people voting it in the number one slot, but then you have a lot of other people that voted Coda number 2, number 3, and Power of the Dog lower, and then those points add up, and suddenly, you know, Coda or Green Book or whatever wins because, you know, just the way the calculations go, which again is like, okay. But so that's why I'm sort of, you know, Coda would not be my choice. But again, I think there'll be enough votes, you know, high enough in these voting calculations to push Coda to the top.
I get that. I get your theory. I think it's, you know, it's called ranked choice voting.
Yes, exactly.
Elections are held that way, political elections, where you not only pick your top candidate, but you also have like your second and third choice candidates, and those count towards, you know, votes. And yes, you know, like I said, I just feel like momentum. That's kind of how I read these, is where is the momentum going, where's the buzz going, and I kind of see it going. Again, Coda had that momentum earlier, but I think it's changed the Power of the Dog. We'll see. We're going to see in an hour. The show is going to start. The Oscars is going to start in over an hour. We're going to try to get this up to YouTube before that starts, and you guys can check us on our picks, and then we'll do an episode, a follow-up episode, a recap of the Oscars, and we'll talk about the winners and losers.
Okay.
So, Mike,
sounds great, Dave.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll talk later after the Oscars.
Okay. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks. All right, bye.